Hi, I'm Lirec, and you're watching Let's Chat with Courtney Hall.
Thank you for watching another episode of Let's Chat with Courtney Hall. I have a special guest in the building, Lirec. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Thank you for coming. I'm doing good.
Thank you.
So, talk about your music. You have music going on. You sing, you dance, but right now I just want you to talk about your music.
All right, well, I have a single dropping here in about a couple of weeks on April 5th called I Can Take It. And it's a very powerful piece. It's something that's very dear to heart. It's like my first song getting back into the studio after like probably 10 years. And so the idea behind this song is to let go of the victimized mentality. Like, you know, we've gone as African Americans, we've gone through, you know, all sorts of oppression and adversity throughout our life. And this is a song to just say, even though we've gone through that, we can take it. So let's keep on pushing for greatness, and like we've always done.
So what made you get back into the studio?
I guess my love for music that was my first love, you know, before I had my daughter. That was my first love. So, you know, and I wanted to start pushing myself a lot harder. As I came out of depression, I wanted to push myself harder and harder and harder. So here I am pushing myself to my limits. And
that's amazing. That's awesome.
In the studio.
So you dance as well. You're a really good dancer. Do you put music and dance together, or are they two totally different entities in your life?
It's the same. For me, it's the same thing. I think I've become so great at dance is because music was something that I can break music down in so many different ways, and dance is just rhythms, and being diverse in how I move, I'm able to, you know, partner that with music. I use how I think about dance in my music. I think about how music plays in my head when I dance.
So whenever you're writing music, because you write your own music, so whenever you're writing music, do you have to be in a certain mode? Do you have to be in a certain room, eating a sandwich? The meat has to be turkey.
Twizzlers.
Right. Like, is it a process, a certain process that you go through?
Well, I listen to the song. I listen to whatever music that I produce. I just listen to it over and over and over. Really, this song I Can Take It came about in one session. I literally wrote it and put it all in one track and put it on a track in one session. I just cleaned it up over time, but it's just being in the room with creatives and putting on the music because it inspired me. Something made me write it, or made me produce the music. So when I'm in there, it all just flows out, you know. And I don't have really much of a crazy process. I like to eat Twizzlers though. When I study and think.
You like Twizzlers, huh?
I like Twizzlers. Twizzlers but it gave me ulcer, so I can't eat it.
Oh well. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Don't mess with that. And that took a turn for the worse.
So.
Rest in peace, Twizzlers.
Well, there you go. Well, your day job.
Right.
What do you do?
Or
whenever you're not doing music, what do you do?
Well, I'm working with businesses. I do small business analytics as well. So I'm building a brand called Lirec Creativity, which is a multifaceted creative consulting firm, as well as doing analytics for small businesses, for minorities, and all different sorts of human beings that wants to start small businesses.
That is impressive.
Thank you.
Like, that's impressive. Now, how important is it for African American individuals to have their own?
I think it's by far one of the most important things, because you can't make a decision on something that you don't own or possess. I think it's one of the most important things to get yourself. If you want to teach and teach your lineage and you want to break chains in your life, you have to own something, or you're just going to be a consumer for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Now, getting back to music, you know, we all know what's going on with R. Kelly.
Oh, shit.
I really want to know what you think about it, because you do have a daughter.
Right.
So it's kind of like, how do you look at that genius, that musical genius now, because he's doing these, you know, alleged horrific things?
I think that. So I don't pass an opinion until I can find facts on. Obviously, he's been acquitted for some stuff that happened for a while. Whether he was guilty or not, I don't think the law actually says if you did it or you didn't. It's just saying if they can prove it or if they can't. But people have problems, you know, people have issues. I think that he's probably gone through things in his life. I'm not calling him a victim because he's victimized a lot of lives and allegedly messed up a lot of lives in his process. But I think he,
So you said that, people have problems and this and that. So are you saying that you excuse?
No, there's no
him?
excuse.
Do you still idolize him? Do you still think that he's a musical genius?
I don't associate what I respect about a person's hard work with who they are as a person. Their hard work, like people, there's many artists that's gone and lived and died and been horrific people in the world, but are musical geniuses. I can't take away this genius because he's a pedophile. I don't associate who he is as a person. I don't like R. Kelly music. I was probably born to R. Kelly. I don't know.
Right.
But the reality is that if he did do that, he is a pedophile. He is this bad person, this evil person. But it doesn't acquit his genius. It doesn't acquit his mind.
So would you still listen to his music? Because he is a musical genius, would you still listen to his music?
If I'm looking at it from a business aspect, he don't actually get paid for me listening to his music. It doesn't give him any kind of support. It doesn't give him any direct support or any kind of, all it does is just listening to something that he put out into the world. He don't even own it. So if I listen to it, I don't feel like, I'm supporting him.
So you would listen to it?
I mean, I don't listen to R. Kelly right now.
Okay.
I get tired of going to parties and listening to R. Kelly. Step side to, I get tired of hearing that.
Yeah,
So
I know, right? Like at every reunion, it's that song. But okay, so what do you think about Michael Jackson? And this is the thing. This is why I ask you, because I think that you are a genius in your own world. And Michael Jackson, he's the greatest performer ever. And I just feel like I'm looking at him a little bit differently. Like, I looked at him differently back then when, everything was going on. But now, there's a documentary out that Oprah did. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what to think.
About my MJ?
About Michael.
Well, MJ dead now.
There's nothing we can do. Yeah, nothing we can do, unfortunately. But, I don't think I would stop listening to his music, but I heard a song on the radio the other day, and it just didn't sound the same. I was like, this man had boys, in his bed.
But even though when he was demonized at the time he was doing, people still loved him.
Yeah.
And no matter, people love this man around the world.
Yeah.
In Japan, all these different countries, they love this man. They probably don't even know what he's doing right now. America, we demonize the character, we demonize the person because, one, we speak the language that he sings this music in.
Yeah. And if we talk about R. Kelly, we talk about Michael Jackson, we have to talk about Elvis Presley. Because he actually married a 14-year-old girl, or was she 15?
And there was one other guy who married his daughter. He actually groomed his daughter to.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he groomed his daughter to and then married her.
Ew.
He adopted this girl, groomed her, and then married her.
Ew.
Stepdaughter, I think. Stepdaughter.
Well, you have a daughter, so how does that even sit with you? Like, could you even imagine I mean, I just don't understand how guys an older man could do that.
Well, if you go by psychology, he's been touched when he was younger. And the same thing with R. Kelly. For them to be fixated.
But what about Elvis, though?
Elvis probably the same thing. Like, people, he was idolized. Somebody put him as that good old boy. And so for him to be groomed, he had to make a lot of decisions in his life that he probably, he benefited from, And even a lot of people, so I've run across, people talking about, it was a different time then. It's still wrong even then. Even when they used to do it back in the ancient days in ancient Greece, or whoever, all these different countries that create concubines for their empires. It's all still wrong. It's just now the time that we see it and we want change, that we are able to demonize or get pissed off or get mad. Excuse my language, kind of.
No, you can't cuss.
Okay, or get mad at the people that committed these atrocities. Okay. Because now there are more opposite genders speaking for the woman with the woman, because before the woman was always crying out, but men wasn't listening because we have this order that we provided. So
wow, he's amazing, just how he looks at different things and explains it.
Thank you.
He's great. So anyways, with your music, so when are you going to put out a full body of work?
My goal is to put out a full body of work, an EP by the end of the summer.
Okay.
That's my goal.
Okay. So are you going to go on a mini tour? Where can we see you perform?
Right now, it's going to be online. You're going to see me perform online. I'm doing most of the business side of it, so I'm doing the licensing and all that. So I create music for film and commercials and TV. So I'm going to be using the social media. I want to maximize how to use social media. So a lot of my music is going to be released on IGTV. It's going to be released on, I'm probably minimally use YouTube, but the way it's going to be released is going to be a video song diary kind of thing. Not like, strapped in a closet or anything, but it's going to be like, there's going to be videos released with the music. So it's going to be called War is Love, and it's going to be like a 5-song EP, but it's going to talk about the relationship between a man and a woman from beginning to end.
How do you feel a relationship between a man and a woman is supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be...
In a perfect world.
In a perfect world, ideally, open communication. I think that communication would allow them to accept each other for where they are, and move together where they are, and create this image of who they want to be together, and not only like together but separate, because you have to work on yourself. So I think there's like this tree that they have to work towards, and then their offsprings, and then they think about how they're communicating with their offsprings, and it's all about communication.
Why is communication so hard though between a man and a woman? Because we're not that different.
We aren't at all, but we try to understand. We try to think. We try to
think ahead.
Yeah, we try to anticipate the other person. We don't. People say oh, women process things differently, or men process things. I just think that it's just how society, how each gender, they grew up differently in society, so they process things. They process the same thing differently. Even like with me and my sister, we've lived together most of all our lives, but we're totally different people. We think of things, we process things a lot different. I'm a lot more logical, and I'm only saying she's emotional because of the things she's gone through, not because that she's a woman.
Right. So if you could talk to your younger self, what would you tell your younger self?
Stop being No, I'm joking. If I could talk to my younger self, I would tell my younger self, shoot, I'm trying to think of an age that I would have talked to myself. Keep believing in yourself. Believe in yourself when no one else will. That's the best I can.
And what's one thing that you would tell your daughter in this very moment? Like she's right there behind the scenes.
I'm gonna tell her. I say this thing to her pretty often. I tell her that because you're a woman, the world is gonna have strikes on your back before you even grow up to be a woman that you want to become. No matter what, you keep on pushing through those adversities. Because you're a woman, you can overcome all that.
Right.
I think that's. I think that, and I always tell her okay, when you get older, there's going to be boys going to be flocking at your door, but they're all going to be stupid.
How are you going to feel whenever she gets old enough to, to have a boyfriend? What are you going to be like? Are you going to be like that cool dad? Because let me explain. So my dad, he's kind of like the play it cool. Until I'm serious about a guy, he's he'll speak. And then I'll be like, hey, Dad, I think I really want you to. And then he's like, nah, I'm busy. I got to do something. I can't go to this function with the guy that I'm dating or whatever. So are you going to be that type of dad? Are you going to be I don't want to see him at all? You're not dating until you're married, which doesn't make any sense at all.
You don't have no skills,
right.
No social skills.
Right.
I think I'm a pretty, open person or easy person to talk to. I like to think that. So I try to talk about things ahead of time. So I think by that time, she'll be 30. So I will be able to she'll be I'll have talked to her enough, and she would understand, what to look for theoretically when it comes, No, but I think I'm gonna be a
So you're saying she's gonna be 30 whenever she starts dating? Come on now.
Hopefully.
Lirec.
No,
Well,
Hopefully.
that's wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking.
Nah, she's gonna.
But
I know she's gonna. I told her when you get old enough, as you get older, you get mature. You can demonstrate your maturity. You'll be able to do a lot more things, and I trust you to make decisions for your better judgment.
Right.
And that may be 16, that may be 18.
Right.
Hopefully it's 30, but I think I'm gonna be cool. I think I'm gonna be chill.
Yeah.
I think I want to know the person, and I'll talk to them, and I'll vet them myself. And I think she values my opinion, so I think that's what matters most, is that she knows that I'll give an honest opinion, unbiased opinion on this person.
Yeah.
You know.
Now, is that your only child?
Yeah, this is my only child, but I have other children with my girlfriend.
Oh,
yeah, so
do you want more kids?
No, I'm good.
He's like, no, I'm set.
I'm
set.
I have adopted enough kids in my life. I have a lot of godchildren out there. A lot of little peoples I love. So
that's so good. Well, tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at toldbylirec.com. Instagram.com/toldbylirec, or Facebook, Lirec Creativity. That's LIREC, Creativity, at Facebook. And I think I don't use Twitter yet, but you can find me on Twitter at Eric D. Williams Jr.
And there it is.
There it is. You heard it here, folks. Folks.
Yeah, I'm tongue twisted too. It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay.
It's all right.
So thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for
really
having
do
me.
appreciate it. You have your instrument over there. Can you please play something? Can you do a little something? I see the instrument, so you can't deny me this request.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. I'll play something.
Okay.
My legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet. Will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? 'Cause darling, I will loving you till we're 70. Darling, my heart can still fall as hard at 23. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just a touch of a hand, but I'll just keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you'll understand. So baby, now,
Oh my gosh.
take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars, place your head on my beating heart, thinking out loud, maybe we found love right where we are. We found love right where we are. And we found love right where we are.
Well, thank you so much, Lirec. That's amazing. That was amazing.
Thank you.
You
On the spot.
You hit that little note, and I was like, you are so good.
Thank you.
You're really good.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me. It was
No
a
problem.
pleasure.
No problem. You definitely have to come back. And thank you all for watching this episode of Let's Chat with Courtney Hall. Stick around for another episode next week.